On February 24, 2022, Russia began what it calls its military operations in Ukrainian territory. Today, almost 7 months on, Ukraine has unleashed a counter-offensive, an offensive that Russia did not see coming. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says its forces have reclaimed over 6,000 square kilometers from Russian control in the east and in the south. Ukraine says it claims to retake all of its territory after driving back Russian forces in a rapid offensive. It has even called on the West to speed up deliveries of arms to back its advances. The key area of fighting right now is Kyiv, Ukraine's second largest city. After a lightning-fast Ukrainian offensive, Russia has admitted losing key cities in northeastern Kyiv. Many see this a potential breakthrough in the war. But Russia's retreat from Kyiv was not a panicked flight. Even after heavy fighting, Russian troops abandoned next to no artillery or abandoned vehicles. In fact, the Russian troops strategically cut power and water to millions of people in eastern Ukraine. Ukraine says Russian retaliatory missile strikes targeted water facilities and thermal power stations in Kyiv. They caused fires and widespread blackouts. Ukraine's second largest city plunged into darkness. Zelensky calls it a revenge for Kyiv's counteroffensive. He says Russian troops are deliberately targeting civilian infrastructure.
Yesterday and today, the Russian army struck the Ukrainian energy infrastructure. Hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians found themselves in the darkness, without electricity. Buildings, hospitals, schools, communal infrastructure. Russian missiles hit precisely those objects that have absolutely nothing to do with the infrastructure of the armed forces of our country.
Подгоните ее к третьей части и дайте СП от цистерны.
This is a video put up by Zelensky on his Instagram. In the video, a defiant Zelensky says if given a choice between being without gas, light, water and food or being without Russian occupiers, Ukrainians will always choose the latter. He added cold, hunger, darkness and thirst for us are not as scary and deadly as your friendship and brotherhood. In the end, he exclaimed, we will be with gas, light, water and food without you. Though the speed of Ukrainian military's counteroffensive in Kyiv is nothing short of a breakneck, but bigger challenges stare at Kyiv right now. The danger for Ukraine may now be similar to the one Russia faced in early days of the war. Trying to advance on multiple fronts can be costly in terms of ammunition, equipment and troops. The bigger the gains, the longer the supply lines, which makes it easy for the Russian troops to target. Ukraine's forces in the east are now more vulnerable to Russian counterattacks. Experts say seizing a territory is not enough. Holding ground is. That might be easier with the support of the local population, but separatist forces in the east have assisted the Russian offensive. Donetsk and Luhansk are still under Russia-backed separatists. Also, over the past few months, Russia has been redeploying forces from the east to bolster its defenses in the south. So for now, Ukraine, both the eastern and the southern fronts are vulnerable now. In the south, particularly, Ukraine is finding it hard to make gains, having to fight in mostly open countryside. The advancing army needs more troops and firepower. For this, Kyiv is already appealing for more Western weapons. It is using the latest gains to make such appeals. The war is far from over, and these major developments come at a critical time just before winter. So the Ukrainian counteroffensive is not just a test of Kyiv's military strategy, but also for the will of the West to aid Ukraine while it reels under a major energy crisis. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.